Bob Goldstein. Robert Goldstein is the chairman and CEO of a company called U.S. Nuclear Corp., and we had the opportunity to speak to him about a month ago. Stock symbol UCLE, and of course usnuclearcorp.com. And we had such a great response from viewers and such because you were preaching to the choir when you're talking about pollution killing us and the rest of the planet. It doesn't matter what side of the political fence you're on. It's happening to us.
No, it happens to everybody equally. Yeah.
Talk about what you guys are doing. Talk about what U.S. Nuclear Corp is about to do here.
Sure. So the our partners MIFTI has invented a generator that generates neutrons, which boils the water, which makes the turbine turn.
There we go.
And makes the electricity. And their fuel is seawater. It's not uranium like it is for nuclear plants. It's not coal and
the
oil.
neutrons are in the seawater.
That's right.
Really?
Right. Yes. This is heavy water.
Yeah.
So there's three kinds of water:
I didn't
regular
know this.
water, deuterium, and tritium. And this is the deuterium.
Wow.
And that's the heavy water. You can just distill it out of seawater.
Yeah.
And then you can use this for a power plant. And nuclear fusion, the reason they're using fusion bombs, not
Sure.
good for people, but still they're using fusion bombs because the atomic bombs don't put out enough energy. Fusion is the biggest source of energy, and that's why all the stars are lit up. That's why there's energy in the universe, is because of fusion. So
and three kinds of water. I'm learning more this whole show.
Yeah.
So with respect to as I like to call the arc of the story, where we are now, where we could be if the adoption was there.
Right.
Where are you guys in that? I mean, how's it going, and what do we need to do to get there?
Sure. So MIFTI has demonstrated that they can produce 10 to the 10th neutrons per shot. And that doesn't mean too much, but it's a number.
Trying, yeah.
But the other competitors can do 10 to the 5th, so that's 100,000 times worse than these guys.
Okay.
So they have like 2 or 3 more experiments to go, and then they'll get up to their 10 to the 15th, 10 to the 16th, and then they'll be able to make electricity. And also medical isotopes. So the
medical isotopes is a byproduct?
Yes, sir.
So now we're talking about quality of life.
That's right.
Okay, so take us to
Out of heavy water, just floating around the ocean.
So this is the next step here. We
That's
didn't
right,
talk about this
We
part
didn't
last
talk
time.
about that, no,
all right,
okay.
can we talk about it?
Oh, sure.
All right.
Okay, so let's start out. Let's start out. The U.S. and Europe, the advanced countries, they have better medicine than any place else.
Sure.
You know, the rich dictators come here or Europe to get treated.
Yeah.
So the reason the doctor can fix them, of course, the surgeons are better trained here. I admit that.
Sure.
But it comes down to the diagnosis. You're not feeling good. You don't know the reason.
Sure.
You go to the doctor. He gives you a diagnosis.
Yeah.
He says, well, you've got tennis elbow.
Sure.
Okay, but he's wrong. So they do the wrong surgery on your elbow. It's no fun, right?
No, right.
So and the scanning machines are the heart of the diagnosis.
Yeah, your MRI, your CAT scan, your sonogram, whatever.
And so it happens that if you get a nuclear medicine scan, which involves drinking a radioactive cocktail, but it's for a good purpose,
which is wonderful for you.
Oh, I can feel it already.
Then you can see what the organs are doing. Yeah. You don't just get a single shot. You can sort of like movies. You can watch what they're doing, make sure they're doing the right thing chemically and physically, and the doctor can get that diagnosis spot on. He can give you the right treatment, surgery or medicine, whatever it is. And that's why we have a longer lifespan than they do in the undeveloped countries. One of the reasons, and that's why we have a better cancer survival rate. And so
what we're talking about here is we're talking about spreading increasing the percentages over the globally. Then is what we're talking
That's right,
about. I mean, because right now there's a shortage of doctors, a shortage of machines, a shortage of diagnosis, and the diagnoses are sometimes wrong.
That's right. Yeah.
Oops.
So this really bridges that gap.
That's right.
With respect to a business model, what is more important to you, or is it because you're bifurcating, what you guys are able to do as U.S. Nuclear Corporation, right? I mean, you're solving one problem first, then solving another problem next. You do these at the same time?
Well, as it turns out, the same machine will do both, but we only need 10 to the 10th neutrons to do the nuclear medicine. Okay. We need 10 to the 14th to do the electric power.
Makes sense.
So we're this is sort of, we're halfway up the mountain, but we can already see it do some good.
Is it like a hurricane? Every next number is like 100,000 times,
exactly.
better type thing. It's not just one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look where you are.
I
think it's like an earthquake, not a hurricane. Maybe
I think it is a hurricane.
But so so when you go through the IP and you go through the, I guess trying to roll out the business model, do you really seriously do them simultaneously? Because one machine, and now you're finding everything that this machine can do. Is that sort of the idea?
Well, right. So we're building up the power. About a year ago, we did an experiment at the Terawatt facility at the National Laboratory, and so they have a 1 megawatt power supply. We're going to do one shortly with a 4 megawatt power supply, and then jump to a 10 megawatt power supply.
And once the studies are done, and once the testing is done, what's next beyond that?
So then we'll know how to fix our prototype to do it every time.
And then do you march that into municipalities? Is that the idea?
We're buying a new factory, and we're going to start building them. About 2 years.
Wow.
And those little ones, we think we can build them for about $2 million.
About the size of a keg, maybe?
No.
About the size of this studio.
Not so bad,
here.
So what? I got to ask you the same thing I asked our last guest. Adoption. Are you? What are the early returns coming with respect to people and municipalities and the powers that be that could make the decisions to use your technology? How's it going with that section?
We're in talks with the nuclear medicine isotopes. They go through middlemen.
Wow.
And so they're currently they're made in like South Africa and Belgium. Not made in the U.S. And so they fly them in here through these infrastructure companies and sell them to the hospitals.
And you try to be part of the conversation.
Yeah.
I swear, every time you're in here, it's we're going to get another 100 emails on you this time. His name is Bob Goldstein, Robert Goldstein, CEO and Chairman, U.S. Nuclear Corp. Stock symbol UCLE. Yes, they're publicly traded UCLE, and you can go to usnuclear.com.